Mary, could you really be in this town?
In my restless dreams, I see that town, Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you.
I got a letter. The name on the envelope said, Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself. A dead person can't write a letter. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. So then, why am I looking for her? Our special place. What could she mean? This whole town was our special place. Does she mean the park on the lake? We spent the whole day there. Just the two of us, staring at the water. Could Mary really be there? Is she really alive? Waiting for me?
Hello everybody, I'm Uncle Lander and this is my no damage segmented run of Silent Hill 2 PC version of Enhanced Edition. On top of it, 60 FPS, normal difficulty and normal difficulty of puzzles. I always want to do a no damage run of this game. In the matter of fact, I tried for a solid amount of time for a couple weeks to basically do it in a single segment, but I failed, so I decided to settle in with a segmented run. There's also a non-commentary version of this segmented run in the description below for everybody who just doesn't want to listen to my voice. For some people prefer non-commentary versions as well. I'm gonna make both of the playthroughs public to everybody. I'm gonna include all the cutscenes, but I'm not gonna read all the notes. And because this run is segmented, it also means we're gonna have several saves made throughout this run.
Excuse me,
I'm sorry.
No,
was
it's
just...
okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost.
Lost?
Yeah, I'm looking for Silent Hill. Is this the right way?
Yeah. It's hard to see with this fog, but there's only the one road. You can't miss it.
Thanks.
But
Yes?
I think you'd better stay away. This town, there's something wrong with it. It's kind of hard to explain, but
Is it dangerous?
maybe. And it's not just the fog either.
Okay,
It's...
I got it. I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
No, I believe you. It's just... I guess I really don't care if it's dangerous or not. I'm going to town either way.
But why?
I'm looking for... someone.
Who is it?
Someone... very important to me. I'd do anything if I could be with her again.
Me too. I'm looking for my mama. I mean my mother. It's been so long since I've seen her. I thought my father and brother were here, but I can't find them either. I'm sorry. It's not your
No,
problem.
I hope you find them.
Yeah, you too.
So when it comes to this one having multiple saves, I'm basically making a save or a segment after every significant part of the game. I basically split the game into, well, several parts. After end of each part, it's going to be marked with the save state, and then simply continue on from that point. The reason why I don't play on the hard difficulty, it's because, at least when it comes to the PC version, the hard difficulty is very, very frustrating. And it's simply, to me, it's not worth my time. We are not going to use any New Game Plus items for this. We are aiming for the leave ending for the playthrough, and every single stipulation for the leave ending I'm going to mention as we're going to progress through the commentary for the game. Right now we have this part of the game in which basically nothing is really gonna hit us. This is the safest part of the game. There's gonna be no monsters. We only gonna get spawn of the monsters the moment we're gonna actually start fighting the first one, the first monster we're gonna encounter. Also, I think it's worth to mention, I played this with my PlayStation 5 controller, so basically every single button that I'm gonna mention is gonna be from the PlayStation 5 layout. I do not play this on mouse and keyboard or an Xbox controller. I know there's a trick to preserve James's stamina by using quick saving, but because, like I said, using the controller, and I don't think there's a way to bind quick saving button to a controller at all, so we're gonna have to deal, sadly, with James being a little bit sluggish throughout this run. I believe it's also good to say, well, I still remember, is that the first character that we just met over there, Angela, I genuinely believe, and I'm gonna stand with that opinion, that Angela in the remake is actually a better main character. In Silent Hill 2, Angela's supposed to be, in the original Silent Hill 2, Angela's supposed to be that younger looking character, with a different type of voice. But sadly, in classic Silent Hill 2, Angela looks and sounds like she's over 40. Which it doesn't mean that she's a bad character in whichever games you're gonna pick. But the truth is, in my opinion, just overall acting, the way the Angela looks, the way she behaves, considering her circumstances, was basically better executed in Silent Hill 2 Remake. We are not gonna pick up all the items, but I'm definitely gonna start picking up lots of the different items. I am a loop goblin, so we're gonna definitely pick several healing items. Most of them gonna be used for the health checking, and also there's gonna be a dosage of health items that's going to be used, because there's going to be a mandatory damage taken, which is not going to count into the run. Besides that, I'm going to pick up everything else that I see and where I know, because I'm a loot goblin, like I said. And there goes our first enemy, the Lying Figure. On normal difficulty, Lying Figure is gonna die after 3
Is
hits.
it dead? What the hell is it? It's not human.
3 hits tops. Often it happens that the Lying Figure dies after 2 hits. Even rare, it happens that Lying Figure is gonna attack
Oh
first.
yeah.
Or should I say even more rare?
This thing
Not
broken?
rare, I don't think it's a word.
What the? I better take it anyway. I might need it.
At this point of the run, we are not gonna need the plank anymore for the rest of the game. And also I decided to switch the radio off because I simply consider white noise to be a little bit annoying to me, so I decided to turn it off. There's a little bit of benefit when it comes to fighting an enemy. There are certain enemies that are actually detecting you by having the radio on. And there's a lot of enemies that detect you basically by having the light on. I simply prefer not to have the radio on because the white noise just annoys me a little bit, though I perfectly understand the thematical significance of having a radio static as you play Silent Hill. I perfectly understand it, that's just my personal preference. And as we defeated the first Lying Figure, we're gonna start having enemies in the city. As you enter this alleyway for the apartment gate key, stick to the right side, because on the left side you're gonna get a worm, and underneath that white van that we just ran past, you're gonna have another Lying Figure that is actually crawling. One useful tip about the Lying Figures, if you happen to fight them, just try to make sure that Lying Figure is gonna be facing face up and not face down, because if the Lying Figure is lying face down, they can start crawling around, and they are really fast, they're real agile, they're way more faster and way more agile than James. That being said, either try to execute them really fast or try to avoid them at all costs, which is actually pretty much very, very possible in majority of locations. Stopping over here for the first aid kit and for the bullets, and as you can see that brown car on the right side, try to go around it. Underneath that brown car, you're gonna have another crawling Lying Figure, which you want to avoid. There's also another bug over here, which can follow you pretty much all the way to the gate and hit you. Bugs are really small, they're moving really fast, and that marks the end of the first segment of the run. We have cleaned up the first our first visit in the town, and now we are in the apartments. In the apartments, we're gonna pick up our actual first weapons, first ballistic weapons. As you go from the from the staircase through the door to the right, And after you pass the lying figure, go to the next door. Lights over here. Pick it up and just exit the room. There's no reason for you to fight the monster. And the mannequin has the same outfit as Mary has in the picture. That picture also has a relevance because it is actually mandatory to look at it several times throughout the playthrough to reach the leave ending. As you pick up the light, you simply leave the first floor and you go upstairs to the second floor to watch another cutscene.
Ow! Hey, wait! Damn it.
A significant lack of calling James Fartface has been detected. Go to the second door, almost at the very end of the staircase, and inside of the shopping cart, you're gonna get a pistol. You right now have 20 rounds in total, 10 in the pistol, 10 in the spares. If you're gonna be lucky, you are not gonna have to spend any of the rounds up until pretty much the end, almost the end of the apartment building. But there's definitely a situation in which you might need to use the pistol rounds. As you pick up the pistol and you return back to the first floor and you go to the crossroad, you're gonna start hearing a noise, which is gonna point you to your next location. And right over there, there's the most iconic monster in the Silent Hill series, overused in a lot of cases, the Pyramid Head.
Oh my god. Who could have?
We got a key to room 202. We're gonna have to return to this room in the future. For now, we're going for 202. When it comes to avoiding enemies in the tight hallway, if enemy just traveling right through the middle, don't be afraid of trying to stun them or kill them. But usually when it comes to lying figures, you can very easily avoid them by simply going around them. Because it is very, very rare that lying figure is gonna spit at you as you try to approach them. But it can happen. Either way, the wider the space, the more opportunity for you to dodge the attack from the lying figure. In 202, you go to the room, you activate the cutscene at the hole in the wall with the dark butterflies, and you get yourself a clock key, which clock is located in the room 208 or 209. Right, so now that you are going back to the same room where we found the key to 202, you're actually better off turning off the light and start walking. Because the monsters over here can actually group up pretty tightly. And when you start running, you pretty much will not be able to see the second lying figure that's behind the corner, which is pretty much gonna be already able to attack you, so... If you have an opportunity to wait for the monsters to basically, for themselves to spread around, do it. Now I use the clock key on the clock over here. The solution for this puzzle over here is 10 past 9. The tip for this puzzle, which I have not shown, my apologies, is on the wall right behind the clock. The clock is facing the wall with the tip. Maybe I should say it like this. And it says it has arrows point in different direction. Every single one of them is named Henry, Milford, and Scott, which stands for hours, minutes, and seconds. The dial with seconds is always set up. So after you're gonna deal with the clock, you simply go through, you go on the third floor. And as you see the lying figure over here, you run past it, and you go for the next door, and then we got Pyramid Head having some fun, I suppose. And now for a very helpful enhancement provided by the Enhanced Edition, is that camera angle basically points you at the key that is on the desk over here. That's a key for the courtyard, which in any other edition of Silent Hill, in the vanilla version I should say, that key is almost pretty much invisible and it's very, very easy to miss. After getting this encounter, we're going for the right side, from which we're gonna pick up the fire escape key and also some pistol rounds. And like I said before, if you are lucky, or if you know your movement, you are pretty much always able to avoid fighting any of the enemies. After you pick up the key, you simply go to the staircase door that's right next to the room 305. Then you go down, pick up the canned juice. It is an item required for the trash chute that is located on the first floor of the left building. Currently, as I'm talking, we are on the right side of the building. So if I recall correctly, what I did over here is I decided to go for the trash chute first, then visit the courtyard, and after that, progress with the game as we go. One thing that I probably did not mention, that is worth mentioning right now, we're definitely gonna have some situations in which we're gonna have to like look into some notes because either puzzle demands it or they're basically essential to progress in the game. I'm gonna leave you guys enough time so you guys can simply pause the video as you guys watch it, and so you guys can read the notes on your own. Go to the trash chute, and we pick up the first coin, the coin of the old man. As well as inside, we find the notes about Mulder Sullivan, which is the recurring character in Silent Hill 4, which is a game that I regrettably have not played yet, as in like fully played. The first time I have tried to play Silent Hill 4 was ages ago, and I did not really enjoy it. I tried to play Silent Hill 4 last year, and it simply did not run good. It basically was clogging my PC. Now we are in the courtyard, we're going for the pool, and to get the item from the pool, we need to attract all the enemies from the pool to follow you right over here. Normally they all just follow pretty much immediately. This time was one of those times in which all the monsters simply decided to be like, nah. Also, if you stand far enough, the barfs that they're emitting, the sprays that they're doing, they're not gonna hit you. You're gonna be perfectly fine. I was standing there for like a longer moment in hopes that all three monsters are gonna basically get attracted and they're gonna start following me. If that doesn't happen, you simply run a little bit back and forth and you repeat the process. You wait for them till they're gonna round up in a comfortable position. As far away from the baby crib, children's crib, little basket that's in the middle. You simply trip down, pick up the coin, and you just run away. And this is 100% consistent if you manage to get all the monsters to simply line up into the wall in front of you. By the way, quick health check over here, just to show that you don't take any damage from tumbling down. As you enter this part of the building, you simply go around the first lying figure to the left, and another lying figure, you're gonna go to the right and run around it. Inside of this room, we are fighting pistol rounds and the cutscene with Eddie, also known as Captain Buttcrack.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Do what?
I didn't do anything. I swear. He was like this when I got here.
My name's James. James Sunderland.
Eddie.
Eddie. Who's that dead guy in the kitchen?
I didn't do it. I swear I didn't kill anybody.
You're not friends with that red pyramid thing, are you?
Red pyramid thing? I don't know what you're talking about. Honest. I did see some weird looking monsters. They scared the hell out of me, so I ran in here.
Well, I guess this place isn't too safe either. What happened here anyway?
I told you, I don't know. I'm not even from this town. I just...
You too, huh? Something just brought you here, right?
Yeah, you could say that.
Well, whatever it is, I think you better get out of here soon.
Yeah, you're right. What about you?
I'll leave as soon as I'm done here. Eddie, be careful.
James, you be careful too.
And that ends the encounter of Eddie Dombrowski. From here, you see, turn to the right, and we are running all the way to the end of the hallway, because this hallway over here connects us with the left building. We're gonna have to go back through the clock room. Right over here. And now, the only thing that we have left to do here is basically go for the fire escape, because we still have the fire escape key. And yes, I tend to take a look at the map quite a few times, because I'm a very forgetful person. Either way, a good tip, if you... After passing the first line figure, you go for the second one. That means you're going the wrong way. You need to do basically a 180-degree turn. The first thing is you're gonna cross to another building, you go to the bathroom, James the plumber. No gloves, no nothing, just doesn't even care about his jacket, he just shoves that thing in, and you get the code. The code is for the save that is inside of the same room. The codes for the saves are always randomized, depending on the difficulty. Of course, they can be understood differently as well. For the normal difficulty, the first number is always the number that goes to the left, instead of what I have done over here. It is a pretty common mistake that actually, I'm happy that I managed to document. It's a pretty common mistake that people think that the first number goes to the right instead of going to the left. And this is where I have made a mistake. The first number that you get on the note is always the one that goes to the left. The second number is to the right. The arrows are showing direction of the future numbers, not the direction that number goes to. If that makes sense. Inside of the safe, you pick up a bunch of pistol rounds, which we are definitely gonna need for what we have planned in the future. The lying figure that's behind us, we don't care. After you exit this room, you go immediately to the right, into the stairway door. You pick up the map, which you might not need depending on how often you play this game and how many playthroughs you have done. You simply go downstairs. And we got a bug. And by bug, I mean enemy bug. You basically slow down. The moment you are able to notice that bug, just don't be afraid and put several rounds into that bug, after which you're gonna stomp on it. This bug is basically so small that you might not really notice it. So if you manage to find it and you manage to get a good aim at it, just do it. Don't be afraid of shooting. The bugs actually have also an ability of just dodging your projectiles. Inside of this huddle room over here, we got another cutscene with Angela.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, I'm James.
Angela.
Angela, okay. I don't know what you're planning, but there's always another way.
Really? But you're the same as me. It's easier just to run. Besides, is what we deserve.
No, I'm not like you.
Are you afraid? I'm sorry.
It's okay. Did you find your mother?
Not yet. She's not anywhere.
Did she live in this apartment building?
I don't know.
So, all you know is she lived in this town.
What did you say? How do you know that?
Well, I just figured, 'cause this is where you're looking for her. How else would I know?
Yeah,
Am I right?
I'm so tired.
So, why did you come to this town anyway?
I'm sorry. Did you find the person you're looking for?
Not yet. Her name's Mary. She's my wife.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Anyway, she's dead. I don't know why I think she's here.
She's dead?
Don't worry. I'm not crazy. At least, I don't think so.
I've got to find my mama.
Should I go with you? This town's dangerous. Now I know what you meant back there in the cemetery.
I'll be okay by myself. Besides, I'd just slow you down.
What about that?
Will you hold it for me?
Sure. No problem.
If I kept it, I'm not sure what I might do. No! Oh, I'm sorry. I've been bad. Please don't.
And after this cutscene, we are getting the knife as well as the last coin that we need, the prisoner. Also, take an opportunity over here to take a look at the picture of Mary. But if you're gonna check on the knife, pretty often, that's gonna be triggering a different ending for the game. Now, on this floor, we are going for the room 105. Room 105, it is the room right next to the staircase entrance. And right here, we got a puzzle with a little bit of a tip on what you have to do. But solution for this puzzle, we basically have 5 indentations in which you need to put the coins in. The old man coin goes into the second indentation to the left. The prisoner coin goes right into the middle. And the snake coin goes on to the right. On the furthest hole to the right. And that way you get a Linehouse key, which is a room 209 on the second floor. You go upstairs. This time we didn't get the whispers from the room, but we definitely get the pistols and the key for the apartment stairway, from here we are gonna aim in the left direction. We're gonna bait out the attack of the mannequin, and we just simply gonna go from here. And James, with his awful luck of interrupting Pyramid Head and having some him time, or having some it time on its own. So basically what you do for this fight is you go for the corner and you pack the Pyramid Head from this perspective with 20 rounds of your pistol. After which you turn to the right, you stick to the wall, you go to the furthest corner on the left side, and then you basically pack another 20 rounds into the Pyramid Head as it just simply stands still. On normal difficulty, this is probably one of the easiest boss fights that you can do. Once you hear the sirens, you can pretty much stop peppering Pyramid Head with the rounds, but remember to not get too close to him, as he has a very fast one-hit attack on every difficulty if you're simply gonna approach way too close to him, and it might be very, very unavoidable. So simply create some distance, wait for him to go away. And just like that, the Pyramid Head boss fight is done. And my genuine opinion, I think the remake boss fight is simply better. Right, that marks another segment done, the apartment building done. Now we are back into the town.
You! It was you, wasn't it? You're the one who stepped on my hand.
I don't know. Maybe I did.
What's a little girl like you doing here anyway?
Huh? Are you blind or something?
What's that letter?
None of your business. You didn't love Mary anyway.
Wait! How do you know Mary's name?
Again, she didn't call James Fartface. Okay, so as you go forward, you simply then turn to the left. You have a little staircase. On top of that staircase, you're gonna get 2 packs of pistol rounds. Pistol, it's actually a thing that I should really mention. Pistol in this game it is an absolutely amazing tool to fight certain boss fights. And I honestly I prefer to fight total 3 boss fights in this game with a pistol rather than using a shotgun or any other different weapon, because pistol actually allows you for quite a bit of mobility in comparison to shotgun or rifle, which it takes actually quite a bit of time for James to put the weapon down, while when it comes to the pistol, it's way faster. Over here, 2 more pistol packets, another health drink. Like I said, I'm gonna pick up the health drinks because I simply know that I can. You don't have to pick them up if you are really aiming for like no save, no damage. You can just avoid majority of healing items unless you're aiming for a specific ending.
Mary?
And another cutscene.
No, you're not.
Do I look like your girlfriend?
No, my late wife. I can't believe it. You could be her twin. Your face, your voice, just your hair and clothes are different.
My name is Maria. I don't look like a ghost, do I? See? Feel how warm I am?
You're really not Mary.
I told you, I'm Maria.
Sorry. I was confused.
Where are you going?
I'm looking for Mary. Have you seen her?
Didn't you say she died?
Oh yeah, 3 years ago. But I got a letter from her. She says she was waiting in our special place.
And that's here? Anyway, I haven't seen her. Is this your only special place?
Well, there's the hotel too, I guess. The one on the lake? I wonder if it's still there.
The Lakeview Hotel? Yeah, it's still there. So, the hotel was your special place, huh? I'll bet it was. Don't get so mad. I was just joking. Anyway, it's not that way. It's this way.
You're coming with me?
You were gonna just leave me?
No, but...
With all these monsters around?
No, I just...
I'm all alone here. Everyone else is gone. I look like Mary, don't I? You loved her, right? Or maybe you hated her.
Don't be ridiculous.
So it's okay?
Yeah, fine.
And the first thing that we do as we gonna meet Maria is the first thing, I'm gonna take a look at the picture of Mary. Again, stipulation for the leave ending. And we're gonna run in the opposite direction of what Maria suggests.
The hotel isn't this way. Is that okay?
That is another stipulation. The another stipulation for the leave ending is to bump into Maria at least, I think, 3 or 4 more times, which I believe I have managed to get it, but it's gonna happen in the future. Piece of trivia that a lot of people might know, but you might not. Her costume is being inspired by what Christina Aguilera was wearing during her during MTV Teenage Choice Awards from either 1999 or 2000. Though her face, and that is just my small personal theory, her haircut, her face shape, it's like looks like Cameron Diaz. Like it's probably just me. Anyway, we are leaving the park, and the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go for the local gas station for a mandatory item that we need to get to be able to beat a certain boss fight in the game. It's a steel pipe. After that, we could go all the way to the highway, but it's pointless. We simply goes directly to the Steve Bolorama.
I'll wait here. I hate bowling.
I didn't come here to play, you know.
Hurry back, okay?
So what'd you do? Robbery? Murder?
Nah, nothing like that.
Huh! You're just a gutless fatso.
What'd you have to say that for?
I thought you said the cops were after you.
No, I just ran because I was scared. I don't know what the cops are doing.
But if you did something bad, why don't you just say you were sorry? Well, I guess I run away a lot too.
It's no good. They wouldn't listen. Nobody will ever forgive me. Did you find the lady you're looking for? What's her name? Mary?
And now for the absolute cinema moment.
Eddie?
Oh, you're...
James. We met in the apartment building?
Yeah, I remember. But...
Are you alone here, Eddie?
No.
Bye-bye.
Wait! Come back! Eddie, let's go after her.
Huh? Laura? But why?
Laura. Is that her name?
That's what she said.
This town is full of monsters. How can you sit there and eat pizza?
She said she was fine by herself. She said a fatso like me would just slow her down.
Forget you.
Pure Kino, absolute cinema. 10 out of 10. Would eat pizza again. Inside of the bowling alley, there's even a pack of 10 rounds of pistol rounds. You can
Did the
ignore
little
them.
girl run out of here?
Yeah, she was too fast for me. Aren't you gonna go after her?
And I guess that's our new objective now. We simply gonna try and find Laura.
She went through there.
Is there any other way?
Yeah, there is. Right through there.
It's no good. It's locked.
And now for the ways of the evil harlot. The tier 3 sub. The Patreon. And the worst of them. The OF. Alright, so now we are in the Heaven's nightclub, which actually is we're just gonna pass through it. We're not gonna pick up anything, but if you need some healing, there's a large, the first aid kit on one of the chairs inside of the Heaven's Night, if you really need to pick it up.
Over there!
Yeah, thanks, Maria. Very observant. I would totally not notice a kid taking a turn into the hospital. And that summarizes this segment over here. The next segment is hospital. First things first, we are picking up the map. We're gonna have a few uses of the map, and in front of the door, there's another door that's perfectly open that from which you can pick up an important quest item, which is the purple ball key that is on the right side of the screen. As well as the notes about one of the patients. And I believe was the opportunity in which I have decided to basically bump into Maria a few times, because it's a stipulation for the leave ending. We need to bump into her, like, I think at least 3 times, 3 to 4 times. After all of that, we're going upstairs to the 2nd floor. Yeah, just examine the photo of Maria one more time, because I guess I did it for the safety's sake. We don't really have to investigate. Okay, so the moment you're gonna enter the 2nd floor, you make a big ol' U-turn and you incapacitate this nurse or kill her, depending on how much damage you decide to deal with towards her.
Ow!
What's wrong?
I just pricked myself.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
And an item of importance. A bent needle. And also another item of even more significant importance is the shotgun, which is gonna be our friend against the hospital monsters, as well as a majority of the monsters for the rest of the playthrough. In the door, there's for the first door to the left, we get examination room key, with which we gonna pretty much almost immediately use, because examination room has 2 things. One of them is a code for the door, and the other one is additional package of the shotgun shells. And one thing that is important to actually mention when it comes to the puppet nurses, or nurses in general, pick your evil, is that even though you put them down on the ground, they have a significant chance of getting back up into the land of the living and basically trying to attack you. The best RNG is if you kill them on basically your first encounter. What is to be expected is that the nurses are gonna resurrect once. The worst type of RNG, the nurses are gonna resurrect 2 times. Like right here. That's the first time when that nurse actually spawned back to the land of the living. And I remember the countless attempts of the run in which I was sure that the nurse is gonna be dead, but it turned out that the nurse actually decided to get back from the land of the dead. And they hit me pretty much immediately as I tried to leave one of the rooms. The second code over here that you are going to need, this code is always randomized, but when it comes to the code from the examination room, for normal difficulty, it is always 7335. This is a permanent code and it only changes based on the difficulty that you are playing, and it's not randomized. This code that we have just found is always randomized. Going for the M2 door, and we are picking up the lapis key as well as more shotgun shells. After this, I believe you're pretty much allowed to ignore a majority of the doors on this floor. The one neat strategy against nurses is that you can actually get enough distance between you and the nurse so they can start swinging blindly, and you have just enough time to basically use your shotgun. Even more shotgun shells. Don't be afraid of using shotgun shells. you are gonna have to eliminate all the nurses later regardless. And make sure that they are permanently dead. And that's what I said. That's like the worst type of RNG, in which the nurse simply decides to be like, yeah, I'm gonna resurrect 2 times and try to ruin the run for you. Just simply be aware of that the nurses can be basically very trolly like this. Same case over here. Just simply put the nurse down, stomp on them, clean up the area, because you're gonna have to go through here back and forth a few times. The worst case scenario that can actually happen to you is that the nurses are gonna be basically way too close together. And like I said, the code for this door over here, 7335, it's always dependent on the difficulty, but it's a consistent code, no RNG included. And as we go on the 3rd floor, we're going for the room S3, which gives us a cutscene.
James. Wait a minute. I'm kind of tired. It's just a hangover.
You should rest.
So comfy.
I'm gonna go look for her. For Laura. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Now, a little word of warning. Revisiting Maria over here can trigger a different ending. So just be aware of that. Oh, lovely. The nurse have decided to resurrect. Thankfully, it's only a single nurse that have decided to resurrect, not 2 of them at the same time, which can also happen. Okay, so with the roof key that we have just found, we're going, you guessed it, we are going for the roof. From which we're basically gonna go to the outside, we're gonna start running around. So we can trigger the another turn of events, which in this case, it's a pyramid head over here. Look at him being so proud. This is also the only time in the game in which we are taking a forced damage. Depending on the ending, you actually want to get rid of that low amount of health, which for the leave ending, you kind of have to do that. The stipulation for the leave ending is that if you take damage at any point in the game, you are basically going to heal it. Another code over here, a code that looks like 2635. But the first numbers on the turn wall over here sometimes can be different. The 2 might be 7, the 4 might be 5, the 8 might be 6. This code is also pretty much randomized. And you should not really trust it. Okay, now we have all the codes. We are going for the final room on the 3rd floor, which is S14. And because the amount of shotgun shells that we have is relatively limited, we're gonna spend some pistol rounds on the mannequins over here. We're gonna snuff them out of the existence. And now we're gonna use, the first thing I decided to use during this playthrough was possibly all the codes. 6226 on the numerical pad, then on the other lock was the turn combination, which at first I thought it's gonna be 2634, but it turned out to be 7634 or 35. Either way, code is randomized. with getting all the items, to get all the codes, we got a piece of hair. A piece of hair that we're gonna combine with the bent needle that we have found before in the shower room that can be found on the same floor of the hospital. Combine the hair with the bent needle right in front of this little drainage hole with what I would say it's a greenish paint or some other Pepto-Bismol. And we got the elevator key, which we're gonna use that elevator key to basically move to the first floor of the hospital, a floor that was previously, at least the section of the first floor, that was locked away from us. From this section of the first floor, the only rooms that we really need to visit are C3 and C2. In C3, you're gonna get shotgun shells and pistol rounds. Which, by the way, yeah, might as well just prepare yourself with the pistol, because we're gonna have a boss fight after this cutscene, which is gonna be the Flesh Lips boss fight.
Laura?
Huh? You know my name?
Eddie told me.
That big fat blabbermouth?
How do you know about Mary?
What's the big deal?
Why can't you just tell me?
You gonna yell at me if I don't?
No, I won't.
I was friends with Mary. We met at the hospital. It was last year.
James, I'm not gonna scream at you.
Liar!
Also, James.
Laura,
Fine, don't believe me.
But last year, Mary was already... I'm sorry, Laura. Anyway, let's go. We can talk about this later. This is no place for a kid. There are all sorts of strange things around here. I can't believe you haven't even gotten a scratch on you.
Why should I? Wait! There's something I gotta get.
Later, okay?
But it's really important.
What is it?
A letter from Mary.
Huh?
I wanna go get it. Is that okay?
Yes, yes.
Come on, hurry up.
Is it in there?
Yeah, in the back.
What are you doing, Laura?
It's further back, in the desk.
Laura! What are you doing?
Ha ha, I tricked you.
Open the door, Laura.
Why should I? I'm a liar, right? Want me to open it? Huh? Huh? Do ya? What's the magic word?
Laura?
Okay, I guess I won't open it. I think I'll just leave you like this.
You snotty little brat! Open up!
Why, you...
Laura?
You fucking...
Got him. All right, and this is where the fight begins. The moment you notice that one of the flesh lips is starting to perform the grab animation, you simply run forward. After that, run to the end of the room, 180 degrees, 10 rounds into an enemy, reload the pistol, another 10 rounds. Again, wait for the animation. Wait for plenty of opportunities for yourself to simply have enough distance between you and the flesh lip. One of the flesh lips, the first one is already down. Going for the second one. It's now way easier. Still be bombarded with a pistol. And always remember to reload after 10 rounds. I always prefer to use pistol over here because shotgun basically takes a little bit of time to get fired and to get put down in comparison to the pistol, as we could see. And now the final flesh lip. The same strategy as with the others. Wait for the attack, create a distance. Take the advantage of a distance for yourself and basically shoot the monster down. And just like that, the first half of the hospital is pretty much done. Jacob's Ladder reference. All right, and that's gonna mark another segment of the hospital, Alternative Hospital. It's its actual name. And we're returning back to the usage of a shotgun throughout this entire section, or at least a majority of it. Because if you're gonna have basically one useful tip, if you're gonna find a nurse that's not gonna go down after using a shotgun, you simply put her down with a pistol. The first floor that you find have nothing of significant use, so you basically go on the second floor, and after you leave the elevator door, from the James's perspective, you go to the left side. First, you're gonna clean up the left side, because on the right side there's a single nurse that's gonna be standing in front of the one of the doors that has important items for you to pick up, and you don't want that nurse to attack you immediately after you're gonna pick up all the items from the room on the right side. See, just like this, she decided to simply move away from that room, which gives you enough breathing room for if she decides to basically get back to the line of the living. She basically is not gonna smack you pretty much immediately as you're gonna leave this room over here. We got the storage basement key and we got the battery. And this is exactly the reason. As we could see, the nurse have just pretty much decided to resurrect, and she even took the shotgun blast like it's nobody's business. But a couple rounds from the pistol put her down from her and from our misery permanently. That finishes clearing up the second floor. We go on the third floor right now, and it's pretty much the same deal. We're going from the James's perspective, we're going first to the left. From camera perspective, that will be possibly to the right, but from James's perspective, we're going to the left, kill that nurse. The second nurse decided to just constantly walk into the wall, which I guess we have no other choice but to basically kill her with a pistol, because she even decided to be that annoying and go withstand the shotgun blast, so we're gonna finish her with a pistol. That being said, the third floor is pretty much almost clean. We still got 2 nurses to kill after we're gonna cross that door over here. Also remember to keep your distance between yourself and the nurses. You don't really want to stay too close to them, because every single time the nurses actually makes a swing, she makes a little bit of a distance towards you. Like she takes like every single time when she swings, she takes additional step towards you, and when she constantly attacks, it can cause a little bit of trouble. On the third floor over here, you can now explore the storage room, which has additional shotgun shells, which you are going to need that. And the nurse have decided to be like, hello, I'm not dead yet. And of course she decides to just tank that shotgun shell like a champ, like a true healthcare worker. From here, we are taking the staircase and we're going all the way down to the basement. Shotgun shells on the ground. Pushing probably the lightest shelf on the planet and
James!
another cutscene.
Mary? Oh, Maria. It's you. I thought you were... Sorry. Anyway, I'm glad you're alive.
Anyway! What do you mean, anyway? You don't sound very happy to see me. I was almost killed back there. Why didn't you try to save me? All you care about is that dead wife of yours. I've never been so scared in my whole life. You couldn't care less about me, could you?
No, I
Then
just...
stay with me. Don't ever leave me alone. You're supposed to take care of me. So, what about Laura? Did you find her?
Yeah, but... She ran away.
We've got to find her.
You really seem to care about her. Do you know her?
I've never met her before. I just feel sorry for her. She's all alone. And for some reason, I feel like it's up to me to protect her.
Alright, after this cutscene, we're going through the hall to the lower room, pick up the copper ring, and we need Maria to return with us onto the second floor, because there is a day room which has an item that James cannot basically use alone. And I have not just noticed some audio glitching. It is basically the fault of the recording. Something that I didn't notice before. Thankfully, it doesn't really last too long. The only thing that I can hope that it's gonna make it easier on you is the happy elevator James dance. I think from this point on, the audio should be working perfectly fine. A rare audio glitch.
Haunted house, roller coaster, Ferris wheel, and teacup. Silent Hill is home to a thrilling amusement park that both children and adults love. The question is, what is the name of this amusement park? 1. Fantasyland. 2. Silent Hill Amusement Park. 3. Lakeside Amusement Park. Okay, quickly on to question number 2. smashed bones, splattered blood, and finally, bitter tears. What a terrible tragedy! What a gruesome end to such innocent lives! Now the question. What was the name of the murderer who committed this vile act? 1. Walter Sullivan. 2. Scott Fairbanks. 3. Eric Gaines. Now for our third and final question. South of the lake is a deserted old neighborhood called South Vale. From there to Pale Vale, the central resort area northwest of the lake, there's only one road you can take. Just one road, no more. The third and final question is, what is the name of that road? 1. Bachman Road. 2. Rindell Street. 3. Nathan Avenue. Well, that's the last of our questions. Have you got it all figured out? When you know the answers, head to the storeroom on the 3rd floor to collect your prizes. But be careful if you're wrong. Well then, everybody, thanks for tuning in. See you again sometime. Bye-bye.
What was that?
That was a radio show, Maria. Right, so we are back now at the 2nd floor. Like I said, we're going for the day room. That is like a door right in front of us. And another cutscene right over here.
You can't open it?
Yeah, Maria, give me a hand here.
Come on. You're supposed to be the big man around here. How's a little girl like me supposed to help? What's this? Not very cute, is it? Here, James. You take it.
Thanks.
Okay, now we have the lettering. And now we go for the 3rd floor. When it comes to this audio glitch, I was recording this entire playthrough while I still had my other headset, which was using a different set of drivers. But right now, as of this point of recording commentary for this run, I have basically a new headset. It's already with me in the house. It's already on my head. I have installed the new drivers for it. So I hope that this audio glitch is not gonna show itself anymore. I really hope for that. And the code for this puzzle box over here is Q1 is 3, Q2 is 1, and Q3 is 3, which has a bunch of ampules and shotgun shells for you to use. It is not a necessary puzzle or a little bit of a side quest to complete, but I always complete it. I simply always want to complete it. I never feel like having additional amount of ammunition and maybe some healing for the health checks to be as a necessary bad idea. Also, again, I'm a loot goblin. When I see a useful item, regardless if I know that I need to use it or not, I'm still gonna pick it up. I was not really peculiarly aiming for any specific final rank. The only thing that I considered to be important is to not take damage and to get the leave ending. That's the only thing that I care about. And now this pathway over here, in which Maria decides to be the slowest of the pokes on the planet, while Pyramid Head pokes her with his spear. Phrasing. This alleyway on the hard difficulty is a nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
Open up!
One thing I can definitely say about Maria, She definitely got the point. But I'm here all week. Remember to tip the waitress as well. Right, after you leave the elevator, go to the left for the wooden door. This is the only wooden door on the first floor of the hospital. Of the lobby section, I should say. And here we have the key to the hospital, but not before we're gonna get an instruction about where we need to go to retrieve some items, where we need to go with those items. One interesting thing about Laura is that she never gets attacked by any monsters. For her, the manifestations that Eddie, Angela, or James are seeing are non-existent. Because Laura, regardless of her calling us a fart face and stepping on our hand and running away from us and being just absolute annoyance, she is actually innocent in consideration of the powers they're overruling over this Silent Hill. And that marks an end of another segment, the end of the hospital, and now we are revisiting the town for the third time, this time in a pure darkness. I call this a supply run because we are pretty much exploring every single corner of the town to gather as much ammunition as we possibly can, as well as occasionally picking up a healing item here and there. Not necessary, considering it's a no damage run. But I guess it's a force of habit at this point for me. Also loot goblinism. I remember that I have managed to complete the this entire town section in one go in one segment. Because there is one section of this place which can actually turn out to be a little bit painful if you don't know the strategy. But besides that, this whole area is actually pretty chill. We are only gonna kill like a single enemy throughout this entire section just because safety exists. The other interesting thing that I think is worth mentioning, this game is actually pretty fast to complete. If you don't watch any cutscenes, you simply skip through all of them because the PC version allows you to do that. You can beat this game with a good speed and a good puzzle RNG in about 1 hour and 20 minutes. My average of trying to beat this game in a single segment without taking any damage, which I sadly did not manage to make it successful, but my average time of this game, like I said, is 1 hour 25 is one of the more common times. 1:30 is the most common. 1:35 is definitely achievable. And this is the part that I was talking about, which initially caused me a little bit of a trouble. So what you do before you're gonna cross this place, you disable the light, and then you just run forward. The mandarins, they are being attached to the catwalk. They're not really gonna react to you as long as you are having your light off. It's either does not allow them to detect you, or it's gonna make your detection way way harder for them. One thing about Mandarins, they're annoying. The amount of times in which they ruined my no damage attempts was pretty much countless. Because Mandarins, with their little mandibles that are used to attach themselves to the catwalks, they also projecting a little tongues from them. Those tongues are very, very thin, and they're pretty much almost invisible. And they're just absolutely obnoxious to avoid. The hitboxes on those things are also pretty damn ridiculous. So this is one of the instances of the game that if you don't know the strat, you are most likely gonna get hit unless you're gonna get lucky. There are actually worse instances of RNG in this game. The one which we're gonna actually see in the Historical Society, my apologies, for which we're actually going for right now, but not before, like I said, a supply run. This is the only nurse that we killing in this section, because right here on the staircase we got 2 packs of shotgun shells. After that, what you do is basically, as you see that staircase, that means that on the crossroad you turn to the left, and on the staircase over here, staircase, you got a wrench. You can pick up this wrench without picking up the ladder. Through all the playthroughs that I have done of this game, like for majority of the time, every single time I picked up the wrench, I also picked up the ladder at the same time. Until I figure out, hey, if I'm just gonna push myself a little bit more to the right, I can just pick up the wrench and just be a happy man. Right, so now with this wrench, we're gonna head towards the Rosewater Park again. And as you guys probably have already managed to notice, there are nurses around, but because you're in the middle of a street, in the middle of the road, you don't have to fight any of those enemies whatsoever. You can very easily avoid them, allowing you to conserve a huge amount of ammunition. But when it comes to speaking of RNG, besides the resurrecting nurses and certain monsters in the game, which is a pretty manageable RNG, I believe, the Mandarins and later the RNG of the bugs in the Historical Society might be one of the worst cases of trusting the game with luck that I have ever witnessed. Those instances that I just mentioned are absolutely toxic, which ruined pretty much 99% of my runs, and which caused me to basically rethink if I want to do this single segment. Which actually turned out that I basically decided to simply go with this run. Alright, we go Rosewater Park. You simply go downstairs. Then instead of doing what I just did, you go downstairs once, then the second time downstairs, then another stairs to the left, make a little bit of a J-turn up to the statue, from which behind of James transforms his hands into a pair of shovels, which unlocks a little bit of a container that we need to use a wrench upon. A small little box that holds the old bronze key, which can be used on the Historical Society to basically gain entrance to the inside of it. And from Rosewater Park, we're basically taking the same path as we entered, and yeah, From here, it's a straight, long road towards the Historical Society. A little bit later, we're only gonna have the single instance of 2 nurses that we are gonna be perfectly able to avoid without having too many issues whatsoever. But yeah, when it comes to RNG, it's like the only few toxic situations with the Mandarins and the bugs in the Historical Society. I tried to run this game with a seeded playthrough so I can basically eliminate as many instances of the RNG as I possibly could, but for some reason those seeded runs just did not really want to cooperate with me. Basically, it caused me a lot of issues with the game, and so we decided to give up on that. And after countless runs, I basically decided to be like, hey, let's cast the vote. Let my community decide. What are we gonna do with this Sand Hill? Are we going for a segmented run? Are we going for the single segment run? And the community have decided that we're going to do it segmented. And honestly, at this point, I prefer to do it that way, because I know that I can do a segmented run of this game 100% of the time. And that is the last time when we saw the town. Right now we are in the Historical Society. As we enter, we have a door to the right. After passing that, we are going into the hole in the wall on to the left side, and we're going all the way down. The lower you get throughout this path, the more noises you're gonna hear in the background. Until you're gonna hit a door like this. After exiting the door, you go to the left side, go around the monsters. You don't have to worry about them. And down the hall you go. Once you're in this circular room over here, you simply switch the weapons from your shotgun to a steel pipe. You go to the wall and you start clicking on it until you're gonna get a different message than the one that you see over here. And the message is, it's just a wall. This is different. This spot feels a little bit different than the rest of the wall. Maybe somehow I can break it. After which you just smack it 2 times with a steel pipe and you simply move on. The lying figure over here is perfectly avoidable pretty much 99.9% of the time, so we can just go around it. Into the room to the right, and another room to the right. And this is another toxic instance of the RNG. Well, as you're gonna pick up the key, the lighter is gonna lose its power, in which you need to replace the battery. Once you replace the battery, you need to, even before that, you need to stand right in front of the key code panel over here. And basically spam the X as you sadly make mistakes. This code is also always randomized, and there are also 3 to 4 bugs on the ground. If you are gonna be lucky, James is gonna stamp on one of the bugs, which is gonna give you some additional time. But if not, you're simply gonna get hit. This is like really, really bad, really toxic. One of the most incredibly awful cases of RNG that you can get during the run. Especially worse when it's a no damage run.
Killing a person ain't no big deal. Just put the gun to their head. Pow.
You killed him?
But it wasn't my fault. He made me do it.
Calm down, Eddie. Tell me what happened.
That guy, he had it coming. I didn't do anything. He just came after me. Besides, he was making fun of me with his eyes, like that other one.
Just for that, you killed him?
What do you mean, just for that?
Eddie, you can't just kill someone because of the way they looked at you.
Oh yeah? Why not? Till now I always let people walk all over me. Just like that stupid dog. He had it coming too.
Eddie.
I was just joking, James. He was dead when I got here, honest. Anyway, I gotta run.
You're going out there alone?
Yeah.
Eddie?
And that pretty much also marks the end of the Historical Society segment of the game. And starts the prison part of the game. A part of the game that I will say I definitely could do better. We got the first plate over here, the plate of Glutton's Pig, which is the first out of 3 plates that we need to pick up. Some pistol rounds on the desk over here. Map. We're going 180-degree turn, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go for the cell cages, in which we gonna find more handgun rounds. Gonna put you out of your misery. Pick up the wax doll from right over here. I always reload shotguns or any other weapon after several shots. How to exit that door, we are gonna turn to the left, pick up the handgun rounds, go for the room over here, put down the monster, grab the rifle shells. They're on the on the shelf. We're gonna need as many not shotgun but rifle rounds as we possibly can. After that, going for another cell block, which is way calmer and way better. Because it has the ritual monster. A monster that you can technically kill. And we pick up the second slab over here, which is, I believe, called Slab of the Oppressor. Or Plate of the Oppressor. Now, when you have a situation like this, when the monster is right in front of you, don't kill the monster. What I suggest is what you can do that is best, it basically incapacitate the monster without stepping on them. Because there's always a chance that the monsters over here are going to change into a crawling, lying figure. And like I said way before, you want to avoid that. And there goes the final of the plates, right on the ground over here. Sometimes the second monster from this location approaches you like way faster. So you need to basically have your gun ready. Same deal, same deal. English, by the way. Same deal here again. Put the monster down on the ground without killing it. You don't want to really kill the monsters here unless you know that you're not gonna revisit the area ever again. Now going for the largest room inside of the prison section, from which we're gonna combine all the 3 plates together and use them. Tablet of Oppressor, Tablet of Gluttonous Pig, and Tablet of a Seductress. And at the door, there's gonna be a horseshoe. We still need 1 more item to complete the prison section, which is a lighter, but also we need a mandatory weapon, which is a rifle. There goes the lighter. And now we are gonna get the rifle. This lying figure over here, you can stomp on it to kill it, but honestly, I'm starting to think that it's not really not that much of a useful strategy. Because quite frankly, this monster is gonna resurrect the moment we're gonna pick up the rifle from the gun shelf over here. Pick up all the ammo. This monster is pretty much right in front of your face as you try to leave the room, so as the screen goes dark, pretty much have your R2 button pretty much pressed. So the only thing that you do is you just press the fire button. In my case, it's X, and you're gonna execute the monster. And now for what I would say it's metal and concrete latch over here, we're gonna use the horseshoe. We're gonna melt the wax toy or wax doll with the lighter, and we're just gonna open it. It's a little bit over the top in my opinion, because there's no way in heaven that this combination of items would stick together enough to pick up such a heavy item. But then again, it's a realm of Silent Hill, a realm in which you're gonna pick up the hard difficulty puzzle. You might as well just try to read all the Shakespeare's book to find the solution at the first puzzle of the game. Not necessarily in Silent Hill 2, but in Silent Hill 3. Going down deeper into the rabbit hole. We could consider that this section of the prison, the most aggressive and the most dangerous parts of a prison, are pretty much behind us. Items in the elevator, and now a pretty long elevator itself, for which the only best thing that we can do is just wait. And the only thing I can say is that I don't really want to sound like I'm obnoxious or anything, but I want to basically do a little bit of a self-promotion. I'm posting YouTube videos 3 times a week on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And I'm also streaming 5 days a week. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and on the weekends as well. All the links that you guys are gonna need are in the description. And if you guys so far enjoy what you see, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. All right, so that pretty much marks the end of the prison section of the game, and now we are going for the section of the labyrinth. A labyrinth that I remember not really enjoying thoroughly on the regular playthroughs. I always got lost over here. Now we go for the first part of the labyrinth. We go to the left. We try our best to avoid getting hit by the mandarins over here, which they can't do that. We pick up the double shotgun shell package and the great knife because it is a mandatory item for the later boss fight. And thank God these guys decided not to hit me through those catwalks. Mandarins are always very, very pesky when it comes to, you know, avoidance of RNG. And now that we are walking pretty much knee-high in water, basically kill all the monsters. When it comes to lying figure, wait for them till they rotate to you face-to-face, shoot them down with a shotgun, and then just stomp on them. The puzzle with the rotating cube with the faces is, for the normal difficulty, is green upside down. And now for the most important cutscenes in this game.
You're alive! Maria, I thought that thing killed you. Are you hurt bad?
Not at all, silly.
Maria? That thing, it stabbed you. There was blood everywhere.
Stabbed me? What do you mean?
It chased us to the elevator, and then...
James, what are you talking about?
Just before! Don't you remember?
James, honey, did something happen to you? After we got separated in that long hallway? Are you confusing me with someone else? You were always so forgetful. Remember that time in the hotel?
Maria?
You said you took everything, but you forgot that videotape we made. I wonder if it's still there.
How do you know about that? Aren't you Maria?
I'm not your Mary.
So, you're Maria?
I am. If you want me to be.
All I want from you is an answer.
It doesn't matter who I am. I'm here for you, James. See? I'm real. Don't you want to touch me?
I don't know.
Come and get me. I can't do anything through these bars.
Okay. Stay right there. I'll be there soon.
Personal opinion, I believe this cutscene works better than its remake counterpart. The lighting is way different. It's actually way worse in the remake. Maria's acting is just a little bit worse, and in general, I think that Maria is not as great in the remake as she is in the original. Anyway, we are picking the wire cutters, and we're basically returning to the place where we have started going through this place. And we're using the wire cutters on the wire, that's blocking our passage. Same strategy. If you find a lying figure, make it turn in front of you, shoot it down with a shotgun, and just move. You're moving way slower in the water, which prevents you from performing the same, which basically reduces your mobility quite a bit and allows the lying figures to hurt you, and you don't want to get hurt. As you do the no damage runs. I know. It's like pointing the obvious. But still. This is not about being the fastest. This is about being the most careful. If I'll manage to reach a good time as I'm running this game, then it's also fantastic. Now, as you're gonna take the ladder down over here, get your shotgun ready. Because the moment you take the ladder down, the enemy that's in front of you might be already in preparation for barf at you, pretty much. And because of the camera angles, you cannot really see that enemy properly, so just don't be afraid of shooting that first shot, or even second if you are not 100% sure. Just use that shotgun. You have enough ammunition to do that. And this is also the room in which currently the only thing that I would suggest is just spamming that shotgun shell until both of the lying figures are just gonna be lying dead, which is anywhere between 6 to 12 rounds. You have enough rounds to spam that and to use it. Nothing really stops you. But now that I think about it, I also believe that maybe a better method of dealing with this place would be most likely just use the pistol. Most likely. But at that point of running this game, I simply did not thought about it. I didn't experiment with it. Alright, and that pretty much finalizes the hardest part of the labyrinth. And right now we're gonna enter... We have made separate segment for the boss fight. For the boss fight, it's gonna happen right over here. Sorry. And the boss fight is the Abstract Daddy. For which strategy is you turn around, you go for the corner, 2 shotgun blasts, go to the first corner, make a turn, go to another corner, rotate around, make another 2 shotgun blast, run around Angela, don't get blocked by her, another 2 shots in the corner, same thing, run to the opposite corner, reload the shotgun, and the final 2 shots. And the Abstract Daddy boss fight is done. I'm sorry, I made a mistake here. But yeah. Don't be too fast, but also don't be too slow when it comes to the Abstract Daddy boss fight. Because your distance and the enemy distance is the key over here.
Angela, relax.
Don't order me around!
I'm not trying to order you.
So what do you want then? Oh, I see. You're trying to be nice to me, right? I know what you're up to. It's always the same. You're only after one thing.
No, that's not true at all.
You don't have to lie. Go ahead and say it. Or you could just force me. Beat me up like you always did. You only care about yourself anyway. You disgusting pig.
Angela.
Don't touch me. You make me sick. You said your wife Mary was dead, right?
Yes. She was ill.
Liar! I know about you. You didn't want her around anymore. You probably found someone else.
That's ridiculous. I never.
Alright, after this cutscene, which pretty much shows what kind of abuse the Angela have went through, we are going over here, and because of me basically just running through for this game, trying to get as faster time as possible, I immediately went for this room instead of going for a different room. Basically, from all the hanged bodies that we have over here, we are looking for the one that it has been charged with the crime of arson, and in this case it is the third body to the left, but where the arsonist is located is always random. The puzzle for this section is basically there are several criminals, but only one of these guys is basically innocent, and we need to figure out which one of these guys is innocent. On, like I said, normal difficulty, arsonist is always the innocent one. And when you pull the correct rope, down, you simply return to the previous room, and in the same space as you found the arsonist, right now there's supposed to be a little bit of a note on the floor, as well as the keys. The keys of the persecuted. And yeah, a little bit of, again, muscle memory. I've decided to return to this room even though it's not really necessary.
Maria? Maria? Maria, no! What happened to you? Why? Why? Mary.
And after this cutscene, we are moving all the way down. Well, not really all the way down because the ladder was aiming up, but we should be moving forward towards a little underground cemetery. for which we're gonna pick up all the supplies over here, majority of which are the shotgun shells. The good and tasty and always useful shotgun shells. Also, this is gonna be the end of this segment over here, because the next thing that we're gonna do is gonna be a boss fight. And we got 3 Greys over here in front of us. Two of them which are for Angela Roscoe and David and Eddie Dombrowski, not David, sorry. The one that is drilled down, the one that allows us to go down, is for James. A little bit of trivia. Just tiny bit. It's something that you can pretty much check yourself as you play the game. But yeah, prepare the pipe, go down over here, and as the cutscene is gonna play, pretty much hold the weapon ready. Just hold the weapon ready. For PlayStation 5, it's the
Eddie?
R2. Just hold the R2.
What are you doing? What does it look like? He always busted my balls. You fat, disgusting piece of shit. You make me sick. Fat ass, you're nothing but a waste of skin. You're so ugly, even your mama don't love you. Well, maybe he was right. Maybe I am nothing but a fat, disgusting piece of shit. But you know what? It doesn't matter if you're smart, dumb, ugly, pretty. It's all the same once you're dead. And the corpse can't laugh. From now on, if anyone makes fun of me, I'll kill him. Just like that.
Eddie, have you gone nuts?
I knew it. You too. You're just like him, James.
Hey, I didn't mean anything.
Don't bother. I understand. You've been laughing at me all along, haven't you? Ever since we first met. I'll kill you, James!
And the moment the boss fight pretty much starts, you you hold the X button, or whichever button is responsible for executing an attack, and just like that, you got the first phase of Eddie's boss fight complete. If you have a melee weapon against him over here, he's not gonna fire at you. He's just gonna try to approach you and punch you with his fist. And now the second stage, which is way more problematic.
Do you know what it does to you, James? When you're hated, picked on, spit on, just because of the way you look, after you've been laughed at your whole friggin' life. That's why I ran away after I killed the dog. Ran away like a scared little girl. Yeah, I killed that dog. It was fun. It tried to chew its own guts out. Finally died all curled up in a ball. Then he came after me. I shot him too, right in the leg. He cried more than the dog. He's gonna have a hard time playing football on what's left of that knee.
You think it's okay to kill people? You need help, Eddie.
Don't get all holy on me, James. This town called you too. You and me are the same. We're not like other people. Don't you know that? Let's party!
And as the boss fight starts, you basically hide behind the first meat over here. And what you need to do is smack Eddie with this pipe 6 times, while also keeping in mind that it's preferable for Eddie to stick to your left side rather than to your right side. And if you're gonna miss Eddie or hit the slab of meat instead, don't worry about it. Just wait for your turn. And always make sure that Eddie's gonna attack you from the left side. After 6 hits with the pipe you simply gonna switch. Every single time you attack him, you hide behind the meat. Not all the way to the middle, but more to the left side of the meat. I believe this is the 6th swipe. You wait for him till he's gonna make a smack. Switch to the Great Knife and immediately execute the attack. And just like this, Eddie's boss fight, no damage. Perfectly executed.
Eddie? Eddie?
The worst case scenario that can happen to you over here during this boss fight is when Eddie is his AI is simply gonna decide to, instead of going at you from your left side, he's gonna go from the right side. From the right side, he has way more open space to punch you with his hand.
Mary. Did you really die 3 years ago?
But yeah, this is the most consistent strategy against him. Like I said, the only thing that you need to really be aware of is him just moving to the right side of James instead of the left. He has way more open space from which he can definitely reach you and attack you more. And now to the boat. The fastest way that I have found to basically beat the boat part is the moment you're gonna regain controls, you simply move to the right, and the moment you're gonna see the light, you simply let go of the right directional button in my case, and you simply go towards the light. Now, when it comes to the Eddie's character, a little bit more of a comparison because the traveling with the boat is gonna take about a minute or so. A little bit of comparison of Eddie from the original versus the one with the remake. They kind of, in my opinion, they kind of changed the character a little bit, or actually quite a bit. Eddie in Silent Hill 2 original basically is done with being bullied for the way he's looking, but he resorts to murder because he simply doesn't see any other option, and that's the only thing that he does, which is obviously evil. In Silent Hill 2 remake, Eddie is just so deluded in his thinking that basically everybody just hates him all the time, that he refuses to see a good in any kind of line of dialogue. Like, an example of that is in the cinema. As you meet Eddie in the remake in cinema after the apartments, James points out that Eddie's, his appetite is back, that he's eating again after basically throwing his guts out. And Eddie, instead of understanding that James actually cares and he doesn't even, makes fun of him, Eddie basically immediately looks on the side of him and he thinks of him that he hates him. His later dialogue also points that out. Basically, Eddie in Silent Hill 2 remake doesn't see anything but evil in other people. And that makes him lose his mind even more. All right, we got the boat part done, it seems. And now for the Lakeside Hotel. It seems that I already have prepared a shotgun with myself, which we are gonna need it. After you're gonna cross the staircase, go to the left side on the little pool over here. There is a music box. We need 3 music boxes from the motel to basically complete the major puzzle of this place. This is why I have basically decided to make another save, basically split another segment. Map on the right side of James, which is marked room 312 with the marking with the writing of waiting for you. Holo map for guests. And the first thing that we're gonna do in this section is we're gonna go for the key to the room 312, which is right behind the reception, right over here. Now going for what I would say it's a restaurant room. We pick up the fish key from the plate, and we're gonna get another long cutscene.
Did I scare you?
Yeah, you did.
You're here to find Mary, aren't you, James? Well, have you?
No. Is that why you're here too?
She's here, isn't she? If you know where she is, tell me. I'm tired of walking.
I wish I knew.
But she said it in her letter.
What letter?
Wanna read it? But don't tell Rachel, okay?
Who's Rachel?
She was our nurse. I took it from her locker.
As the letter is being basically kind of passing in the background, the one thing that I think is worth mentioning that the moment this cutscene is going to be over, monsters are going to start spawning inside of the motel. I should say rather say hotel, but
Laura, how old are you?
I turned 8 last week.
So, Mary couldn't have died 3 years ago. Could she really be here? Is this the quiet, beautiful place she was talking about?
Me and Mary talked a lot about Silent Hill. She even showed me all her pictures. She really wanted to come back. That's why I'm here. Maybe you'll get it if you see the other letter. The one, Mary. Huh? I must have dropped it.
Laura!
I gotta find it.
Laura!
after leaving the door to the James left, we're gonna get 2 abstract daddies, from which we just pick up the right range and we eliminate them one at a time. When it comes to abstract daddies in the motel, I highly suggest not to run towards them. I basically don't. Okay, so now that the monsters have started spawning, a little bit of a useful thing that you can do in the motel, instead of going for another section, just go down below, get rid of the mannequins, and make sure you're gonna pick up the thinner from the elevator behind the monsters, as well as you're gonna return to this place to make sure that the mannequins are actually staying dead. So there goes the thinner. It's a key item. That can help us solve a little bit of a conundrum in one of the hotel rooms. And like I said, go down again. Check if both of the mannequins are pretty much dead. This time they actually turn out to be dead. Sometimes they actually, one of them can get back to life. The other thing that's worth to point out when it comes to the mannequins down there, if you don't pick up the thinner, they have a tendency of returning back to life for at least once. They can return back to life at least twice, in a matter of fact. Okay, as you go all the way to the top, you click on that door 3 times. It's going to be locked. As you're going to try to go down, Mary's going to scream at you, James, which is a requirement for the leave ending. After which, it's always good to take a little Mary's picture. And then on the 2nd floor, you basically go through the dressing room. I believe this is called dressing room. And you basically pick up all the supplies. And use the fish key on the suitcase over here that gives you a key to room 204. But don't leave here yet. Pick up the handgun rounds from the little table, and as you are in the recording room, you pick up the 2 packs of the shotgun shells, which you might actually use depending on how the next batch of monsters is going to behave. Now for the room 204, and we got another batch, a small batch of abstract daddies. But because the range is important, always remember to pretty much keep your distance from the abstract daddy. Spam that shotgun shell unless you are getting it lucky like I did over here, and you are very easily able to eliminate 1 monster at a time without any danger of getting hit. One interesting thing to point out over here is that if you forget to bring a thinner into this room before if you simply forget about the thinner before eliminating the abstract daddies, one of them is gonna get back to life. I remember I had one run in which I absolutely forgot about bringing a thinner, and abstract daddy basically just resurrected and bit me immediately as I exited the room. I was not happy with that, to say the least. Use the thinner on the picture that is on the bed. The password for the suitcase is always random. There's like at least 20 passwords for that suitcase. That gives you a 2nd music box that you can deliver later to the middle of the lobby level of the hotel. In the employee elevator, when you try to use the elevator basically tells you that the weight limit is 1 person. So the only thing that you can really do is just put all the items in your inventory on the shelf. Because if you're gonna try to bring any kind of item back with you or with you to the elevator, the game is specifically gonna consistently try to tell you, no, you cannot do that. 1 person limit. And now we're in the offices of the 1st floor of the building. Onto the left from the elevator, you get another map, which I always pick up, but when you run this game pretty much at all times, you pretty much memorize this entire section. There's not really much of a complication when it comes to memorizing this place. Here we got the videotape with the can opener. The one thing that I should point out earlier is that when you exit the elevator and go to the right, you have the door with the red light that has a third music box that you need. The two rooms over here, the one which we already explored, the second one has rifle shells on top of the bigger shelf, which you need to pick up because we need rifle shells for a later boss fight. Inside over here, inside of this passage, you're gonna get two mannequins, which the best way to avoid them over here is to basically bait their attack. Once they're gonna swing, you have a free room to basically go whenever you do whatever you want, simply run past them, because you don't have any weapons regardless. Don't rush it, don't be too fast, because if you're gonna rush it, you're gonna definitely get hit. And now, on the can that is in front of you, use the can opener, duh, and it contains a fresh and nutritious pack of the light bulbs. Now with 20% less sand. Moving on into the bar. You have a little lamp over here, which you use that light bulb on, which I consider that to be a little bit over the top. You can perfectly see the exit from the bar with your naked eye. You should not really need that light bulb at all, but it is what it is. I'm not the game developer from 2001, so what do I know, right? Now we are getting back to the employee elevator to retrieve our gear. Now when it comes to the two mannequins over here, they are pesky little bastards, because the first one always gonna miss you, but the second one have a tendency of aiming either fully to the right or aiming fully to your left and hitting you just as you want to cross the door. Even more annoying thing about them is that the moment you're gonna pick up all your equipment, they just disappear from the game and they never bother you. But this is like one of the most annoying ways to get hit in the game. So basically, when you approach back with the door to the employee elevator, just be careful. Now that we have all three music boxes, we're going back to the lobby. In the middle, you have this music box playing. On the left side, you put Cinderella. On the right side, you put Little Mermaid, and in the middle of it, you put Snow White. Alright, we got the hotel stairway key. We have the rifle ready. If you haven't prepared the rifle before, make sure that you have it ready right now. That's gonna give you the stairway gate key. Open the gate, and directly in front of you there should be room 312, for which it actually has a little bit of a bug. Basically, the moment you're gonna try to use the videotape, in case of the PlayStation controller, the X, circle, triangle, and square button can get bugged till the rest of the playthrough, disallowing you to usage of these buttons. Every single other button is gonna work, but those buttons are not going to. It's a bug that happened to me once or twice. Right, but the cutscene.
I don't know why, but I just love it here. It's so peaceful. You know what I heard? This whole area used to be a sacred place. I think I can see why. It's too bad we have to leave. Please promise you'll take me again, James.
Mary.
So there you are, James. Did you get the letter? Did you find Mary? If not, let's get going already, okay?
Laura. Mary's gone. She's dead.
Liar, that's a lie!
No, that's not true.
She died because she was sick?
No, I killed her.
You killer! Why'd you do it? I hate you! I want her back! Give her back to me! I knew it! You didn't care about her! I hate you, James! I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! She was always waiting for you. Why? Why?
I'm sorry. The Mary you know isn't here. Laura, I'm sorry.
James, where are you? I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you. Please come to me. Do you hate me? Is that why you won't come? James,
That voice!
James, please hurry. Are you lost? I'm near.
It's interesting how Mary is communicating to us through a radio that I have pretty much disabled at the very beginning of the playthrough. And as you're gonna exit the room 312, we are entering the alternative hospital. Alternative hospital again, wow. Alternative Lakeside View Hotel. Through which, if you're gonna pick up a wrong door, you're gonna basically be thrown to a random location. But if you're gonna pick up the right door, you're gonna basically have a smooth sailing. Just follow the path that I just did, and you're not gonna have any trouble. Down to the basement. Inside of the water, we're gonna have crawling line figures. But for some reason, the crawling line figures, when it comes to this section, they don't behave really that aggressive. Maybe it's because of the difficulty of the game, difficulty that I have picked for the game. But over here, they basically whenever you touch them, they don't deal damage. They stop in place and they get up. Which I believe I will be able to show it in the next room. Yep, just like this. For like a millisecond, you probably guys were able to see that. And another cutscene.
Mama! Mama, I was looking for you. Now you're the only one left. Maybe then I can rest. Mama, why are you running away? You're not my mama. It's you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Angela, no.
Thank you for saving me. But I wish you hadn't. Even Mama said it. I deserved what happened.
No, Angela, that's wrong.
No, don't pity me. I'm not worth it. Or maybe you think you can save me. Will you love me? Take care of me? Heal all my pain? That's what I thought. James, give me back that knife.
No, I won't.
Saving it for yourself?
Me? No, I'd never kill myself. It's hot as hell in here.
You see it too. For me, it's always like this.
This is pretty much the last time we're gonna see Angela in this game. So from here, we're going upstairs, right to the door. There's gonna be another instance of mandarins in a very tight passageway right here, for which the only thing I can say is just run. If they're gonna hit you, they're gonna hit you. Toxic RNG. Shit happens. If you're gonna get hit. It is what it is. Alright, and I remember that I decided to save the game over here because right now we're gonna not only get a cutscene, but we also gonna get a boss fight with the two pyramid heads.
Stop! Leave her alone! Leave us both the hell alone! Ah!
I was weak. That's why I needed you. Needed someone to punish me for my sins. But that's all over now. I know the truth. Now it's time to end this.
The moment the boss fight is gonna start over here, you simply run forward. You go to the corner. You go to another corner, and then you fire 2 shots. This entire arena over here is basically rectangular. And my suggestion is to basically only attack when you are passing through the longer wall, but also making sure that you're gonna look every once in a while and make sure that the pyramid heads, that you have basically enough distance between yourself and the pyramid head, and always stick close to the wall, so even if the pyramid heads are managed to get close, that you are not gonna get hit by them. Actually, in a matter of fact, I advise to look at them and their positioning way more often than I do, because not knowing where they are might cost you a run, and you don't really want that to happen. So if you can switch the camera to even for a moment take a look at where the pyramid heads are, do it. Don't hesitate. If you're using the PlayStation 5 controller, that's L2 to make sure that to look at the pyramid heads. Always use the corners with the longer wall. 2 shots, change the position. Actually, when it comes to this entire fight, I was thinking about switching the strategy and just use the pistol again, but I believe that if you're gonna use all the pistol rounds over here, you're not gonna have enough of them for the final boss fight, and you need the pistol for the final boss fight. Also, always make sure that you count your ammo. The rifle only holds 4 rounds. If you're gonna use those rounds, basically go to the menu on the nearest opportunity to fire the enemy and just reload your gun. Sometimes you might have a situation in which James is simply gonna miss the shot or 2. In that case, don't panic. You have picked, or at least you should, pick up enough ammunition for the rifle to be able to finish up the boss fight as well as still have some spares. So basically, don't worry about it. No need to panic. And just like that, the double pyramid head boss fight is finished. As we can see, still plenty of ammo for the rifle, so you can allow yourself to miss a few times if that actually happens. Use both of the eggs on the doors. I don't really believe that it matters which egg you're gonna use where and which door you're gonna pick when it comes to the leave ending. What actually contributes to the leave ending is the next hallway. You need to listen to the entire conversation in the next hallway for the leave ending to actually initiate.
What do you want, James?
I brought you some flowers.
Flowers? I don't want any damn flowers. Just go home already.
Mary, what are you saying?
Look, I'm disgusting. I don't deserve flowers. Between the disease and the drugs, I look like a monster. Well, what are you looking at? Get the hell out of here. Leave me alone already. I'm no use to anyone. I'll be dead soon anyway. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. It'd be easier if they'd just kill me. But I guess the hospital is making a nice profit off me. They want to keep me alive. Are you still here? I told you to go. Are you deaf? Don't come back. James, wait. Please don't go. Stay with me. Don't leave me alone. I didn't mean what I said. Please, James. Tell me I'll be okay. Tell me I'm not going to die. Help me.
The moment you're gonna start hearing "help me," it's pretty much perfectly safe for you to start running. And there we go. We're going for the last save, the last segment of the game, the final boss fight. And when you have Maria leaned on the wall like this, that means that you're most likely
Mary?
have the leave ending.
When will you ever stop making that mistake? Mary's dead. You killed her.
Maria? It's you. But I don't need you anymore.
What? You must be joking. But I can be yours. I'll be here for you forever. And I'll never yell at you or make you feel bad. That's what you wanted. I'm different than Mary. How can you throw me away?
I understand now. It's time to end this nightmare.
No, I won't let you. You deserve to die too, James.
The moment the boss fight starts, you simply run as far away from Maria over here as possible. Make a quick rotation, and we shoot her with the pistol. The further you are from Maria, the bigger the chance that you're gonna put the entire magazine into her. Sometimes she can release her dark butterflies at you after 3 shots, sometimes after 2. Avoid doing this. Avoid manual aim, reloading of the gun. Always pay attention to how much ammo you have in your gun. On average, you can put 3 to 4 rounds into Maria before she's gonna start releasing dark butterflies. And when she does, you basically go and run around. You take the entire outside line of the room for yourself to avoid being attacked by the butterflies. And after you're gonna notice that the butterflies are starting to return to Maria, or simply it's gonna start disappearing, excuse me, you simply rotate and you pack Maria with as many rounds as you possibly can. With a good RNG, you can shoot at her with the full magazine. Like I said, fully dependent on the distance that you put between yourself and Maria. And just like that, Silent Hill 2 Silent Hill 2 Classic PC. Normal, no damage is complete.
James.
I'm gonna allow you guys to watch the cutscenes, the next cutscenes without my interruption. So enjoy.
Mary?
James.
Forgive me.
I told you that I wanted to die, James. I wanted the pain to end.
That's why I did it, honey. I just couldn't watch you suffer. No. That's not true. You also said you didn't want to die. The truth is, I hated you. I wanted you out of the way. I wanted my life back.
James, if that were true, then why do you look so sad?
Mary?
James. Please. Please do something for me. Go on with your life. In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you. Waiting for you to come to see me. But you never do. And so I wait, wrapped in my cocoon of pain and loneliness. I know I've done a terrible thing to you. Something you'll never forgive me for. I wish I could change that. But I can't. I feel so pathetic and ugly laying here, waiting for you. Every day I stare up at the cracks in the ceiling, and all I can think about is how unfair it all is. The doctor came today. He told me I could go home for a short stay. It's not that I'm getting better. It's just that this may be my last chance. I think you know what I mean. Even so, I'm glad to be coming home. I've missed you terribly. But I'm afraid, James. I'm afraid you don't really want me to come home. Whenever you come see me, I can tell how hard it is on you. I don't know if you hate me or pity me, or maybe I just disgust you. I'm sorry about that. When I first learned that I was going to die, I just didn't want to accept it. I was so angry all the time, and I struck out at everyone I loved most. Especially you, James.
That's why I understand if you do hate me. But I want you to know this, James. I'll always love you. Even though our life together had to end like this, I still wouldn't trade it for the world. We had some wonderful years together. Well, this letter has gone on too long, so I'll say goodbye. I told the nurse to give this to you after I'm gone. That means that as you read this, I'm already dead. I can't tell you to remember me, but I can't bear for you to forget me. These last few years since I became ill, I am so sorry for what I did to you, did to us. You've given me so much, and I haven't been able to return a single thing. That's why I want you to live for yourself now. Do what's best for you, James. James, you made me happy.
I also believe that for this run I decided to skip the credit scenes because they are just way too long and there's like double credits. One's for the Silent Hill team and the other one is for the Enhanced Edition team. So I basically have decided to then just skip those credits and go right into the results screen. Yeah, and just like that, we got the results screen right here. Normal, leave ending, no damage taken, with a bolt time of 1 minute 39. Hope you guys have enjoyed this run. I am Uncle Lander, and this was Silent Hill 2. Normal, no damage, leave ending. All the links that you guys need are gonna be in the description below in the pinned comment. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on the next no hit, no damage run or whatever playthrough I have planned next.